from New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ebro in the morning. Rosenberg and Juvie the Great. Give it up one time.
Yeah.
Juvenile in the program. What's happening?
Juvie.
Thank y'all for having me, man.
Yeah. What?
Y'all got
Stop.
the energy in here.
Stop,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
We happy to see you, man.
Man, I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy about this new project, too. We should be definitely happy about a Juvenile Birdman project on Cash Money.
Yeah, man. And to be honest with you, we really didn't chase the fan with this album. You know, like chase the young demographic.
I love
we kinda
hearing
kept
this.
kept it our way.
Oh, so it's
I
good-
like
you're picking up from where we were.
kind of like, man. If you listen to the album, it's kind of like it'll put you right back into that old Cash Money Hot Boys thing. Even though we don't have Manny Fresh doing the music.
So Manny's not on the beats.
Manny's not on the beat.
Okay.
But Manny gonna be involved in my project.
Okay, word.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, several times in my life, I have been a complete and utter fraud in that I have made a decision on something, and then how strongly I felt about it one way led to
Retracted it.
how strongly I felt about it the other way. There may be no better example than you. And it happened so fast, because it would go back to when Han came out, right? I'm doing college radio. I was on WPGC in DC, which used to play a
Yeah,
record like
yeah.
90 times a week, right? And I was on some, this isn't rhyming. You know, I'm a New York backpack rapper guy. This isn't rhyming. What is this? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what this is. I can't stand it. You did the remix with Hove, right?
Yeah.
The Hove remix comes out.
And then you were in.
And I was like, it just made me start rethinking it. And I realized that what I thought I hated from my backpacker roots, I actually loved. And then the project came out, and I loved the whole album. Follow Me Now. Everything on
You
it
know
was.
why though?
Why is that?
Because I was a backpacker.
Really?
I was listening to all the New York music too. I was listening to everything. So I think you probably didn't realize the artist form and doing because it really was a poem. I was trying to do something different, just be different from everybody else.
But at first I thought it was like a cop out. Like, oh well, he's not rhyming. He's just saying at the end of every line. Did you know when you made that was people could interpret it that way?
Yeah, because I had a song called Soldier Rag before that. So when we got to deal with Universal, I was really trying to do it again. Because the Soldier Rag song was really the biggest song.
And that was you just in the street?
Yeah, it was big. It was big. I mean, it got the eyes and attention on us.
See, now I learned about Soldier Rag when I used to go to
It was
New
on
Orleans.
400. If you listen to 400 Degrees, the song Soldier Rag is on 400 Degrees,
Right.
but it's actually, I had an album called Soldier Rag right before that.
And you just took it from that and put it
that's
on
They
400
just put
degrees.
it
It was
on
that
there.
big.
It was that big, yeah.
So I got put on to all of your bounce music days, right? Some of that stuff from DJ Rowe, Uptown Ange, Wild Wayne. Like I know them from my early radio days. So I wasn't as unfamiliar when Ha really exploded.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I remember when they started working at the radio station.
Yeah.
Rowan, Wayne, and
A.D. Barry.
Yeah, well, A.D. Barry been there forever. He's
Forever,
ancient. But yeah, the music, man, kind of like, they didn't know I was the same person. Like the bounce Juvenile and the Cash Money Juvenile was
two
kind of
different
like two
things.
different people because I was a kid then and I grew up and the voice changed, everything.
So you always wanted that microphone.
Oh, always, man, always. Always went to the clubs. I was a cat that rocked the clubs first. I didn't come straight into just rapping in the studio. I was one of the cats that went to the club and grabbed a mic and really rocked
Did
the
the-
club
rock
for
the party.
hours. Yeah, for hours.
Oh, like an old school MC shit.
Yeah,
like just
like that, yeah.
But you was what, 18?
Nah, I was like 17,
Yeah.
17, 16. Really not old enough to be in the club, but so familiar with the area and the person that owned it, he let me in.
Which club?
A big man.
Big Man.
Big Man.
Didn't they have a
Big
record
Man.
label called Big Man Records or Big Boy Records? Maybe
Big Boy
Big Boy
Records,
Records.
yeah.
Yeah.
So at what point did you decide, like, okay, so I want to take rapping a little more serious and started actually like writing and recording your first project?
When they started, when they had other artists from New Orleans started getting recognition for rap, and that's what made me really want to say, I got to rap now. Mystical, of course. Mystical was somebody that was around me the whole while, and I kind of like helped him get his first deal. But when I saw him getting an opportunity to rap, and of course Big Boy Records and Master P, I said, I know my chance is coming. I know I can really do this because I felt like I was better than everybody.
So you knew Mystical pre No Limit.
Yeah, Mystical actually came in the project looking for me to hook him up with somebody named Precise at Big Boy Records. That was my DJ back in those days. So I plugged him up with him, and he never looked back.
And why, was he signed to No Limit before you were signed to Cash Money?
I think so.
Because they were a couple years before.
I think so, yeah. Definitely, yeah.
So did you at that point ever consider going to No Limit? Was there conversation?
All they was in my ear. You got to remember, everybody at No Limit was either from the Calio Project or Magnolia Project, which, I'm right there in the Magnolia. I'm seeing these guys every day. They coming at my neck. Man, you need to come over here. You need to come over here. Pokey, one of P, right-hand man. He grew up, that's one of my father's best friends. So he was at my neck. But I just wanted to go a different direction. I like No Limit, but I didn't like him to the point where I wanted to be a part of No Limit.
But that's a big decision to make because you have an opportunity for people who could help you clearly get exposure.
Yeah.
And you were just like, I want to wait this out and do it on my own and see what happens.
Yeah, because you got to remember, on the local level, we were bigger. On the local scale. And then before No Limit came about and before Cash Money even came about, I was already a star.
So they wanted you. So that the difference is
you were club money. He was getting club
right. And you would have been doing them a favor to some
they had a guy named DJ Jimmy, and they had music called Wet, like bounce music started.
Bounce music.
Well, I was the forefront. I was the forefront. I was the cat writing all the music for everybody. I was the cat they used up pretty much. They used me up, took me to the studio. Not really old enough to go in clubs or go on the road, and I wrote a lot of music, and they knew that. A lot of the people that started their record companies, they knew I was that cat. So
was there
after me?
Was there ever any hard feelings because you didn't go the No Limit route?
Oh no, it was a little hard feelings. Of course, we had a little, but we was cool. It wasn't nothing. Well, we wanted to fight each other, but of course, yeah.
So then, why did you ultimately end up deciding that the Birdman's Cash Money situation made sense?
It was less people. When I went to Cash Money, it was BG, Wayne, Manny Fresh, and Baby. That was it. All the other artists they had, they let go. So I'd rather be on a short roster than that. No Limit roster was long, man. I wasn't trying to be a part of that.
Could have gotten lost.
Yeah, I felt like I was gonna be down the line. If I wasn't one of the brothers or Mystical, I felt like I wasn't gonna be the focus wasn't gonna be on me.
Look, we got a new album dropping tomorrow. Juvenile, Birdman. Let's run through some classics off 400 Degrees.
Let's do that.
Rosenberg, since you said that you did a complete 180.
Yes.
And was hating.
Yes.
And then was all the way in on 400 Degrees. We're going to let you pick the heat.
Oh, I'll do it. I got you.
So what you want to start with, huh? We got to start with, huh?
Yeah, and then we're gonna hit that the bling bling verse. Do what every DJ was doing back in the day, which you start the song and then you go right to Juvie's verse. I'm a 1999. You gotta cut right.
I gotta correct him already because Bling Bling is BG album.
No, I know. I said I'm gonna start with huh.
Oh, all right.
Then I'm gonna go
I thought we said you was gonna play.
No. Hold on. It's a mix. I'm gonna mix it up.
All right.
And then we're gonna hit your verse from Bling Bling.
All right. Okay.
And then we're gonna
because that was the DJ. That was the DJ.
That was
set at the moment.
He was so scorching hot at that moment because I was actually a real DJ at that point. And whenever I play Bling Bling, I let it go for a little bit, but then you really had to cut to your verse. Like that was the moment. That was the spot. So let's do a little mix.
Let's go. Juvenile's here. The new album tomorrow. What's the title of the album? You and
Jag, Just Another Gangster.
Just Another Gangster.
Yeah.
How did you and Birdman move forward? Can you talk us through what the public should know about how you guys put the past issues behind to get to where we are today?
I don't know if everybody know that, but I would dispute over money, and the numbers that I was disputing over. When we put Juvie the Great out, that was kind of like they paid me off. They paid me off. The album went platinum, and I collected most of the pretty much all the money from the proceeds from that. So we been clear.
So the business has been good.
Yeah, we been good. So I was trying to make people understand, man, I never had no hard feelings after that. My whole thing was the money. And once I got the money, you didn't hear nothing else come out of Juvie. I did my little thing with Atlantic and my UTP thing. And of course, time heals all. Any kind of animosity we had between each other was definitely gonna be gone. I don't hold grudges. I'm not one of them people to hold a grudge or be mad at you about something that happened 20 years ago. Time to move on with life, and I'm ready to. I hit him with the same thing, man. It's time for us to do music.
So did you, in this process of putting this album together with Birdman, did you try to say, hey, Manny, let's figure this out, or you knew that was...
Me and Manny, I go to Manny's house all the time and do music with him. So it's kind of like Manny with me, period.
No, but I
matter.
mean for this particular project with Birdman.
We kind of like we was doing it already. You know, like like once you get locked in, and it was no knock on Manny. We got locked in with one producer on this project, and we liked the way it was going, so we just kept it going.
So
I'm sorry. Lil, I was just gonna say we all have our own like, yo, get the gang back.
Everybody.
That's our
Yeah.
own selfish fandom, but y'all gotta do what y'all gotta do.
Yeah,
You know
when you
what I'm saying?
hear it, you'll see why we kept the same producer.
So who started the initial conversation of trying to start working together present time?
We've been talking over the years. I
you
can't.
like, let's go.
I'd be alive if I could tell you he did it or I did it because I really don't know which one. Because we always when we see each other we kick it. So I really don't know. I really don't know.
Let's go back again to the 400 Degrees era. Were you so played constantly, and I was like, well, no, there's no record that could play as much as this record's playing because this record's is out of control. And then Back That Azz Up comes out. Did you even fathom what the hell was going on when that record blew up? Like that it could blow up on that level?
Nah, I didn't know. I thought it was gonna be a New Orleans hit because it had the bounce.
Yep.
Again, it had the bounce sound to it. I didn't know, man. Be honest, I thought Han was gonna be it as far as the biggest song on my album, and the other song I really wanted to be a single was 400 Degrees. That never materialized, but I just thought Han was gonna be it for me.
How many times platinum did Back That Azz Up go?
I don't even know as a single. I don't think in that era we was doing.
You were
singles.
worrying about the single. It was just the album.
I think the album sold 5 times platinum.
Oh.
You know, back then, Cash Money, when we first came to Universal, that was kind of our game. No singles. You had to kind of
Drop
buy
the
the whole album. Yeah.
Did you know it was gonna become a teenage white girl anthem?
Hell no. Yeah. Man, look,
In your mind, you was like, yo, I know I'm gonna get white America.
Another
Back
thing.
that ass up.
Another thing, I think up until that song, you know, it was a few songs that you would hear at weddings, you know, at wedding, you know, a lot of weddings. Now, I think Back That Azz Up is the #1 wedding song.
Yo, it's a
up there.
big
Yeah.
when that
Yeah.
beginning comes on,
Yeah.
and it's a rare record that has a very slow intro that almost always gets played from the top.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
drops.
Oh, you gotta have everybody gotta get their
Dun,
position. You
dun.
gotta get position, man.
Yeah.
It takes time. Find somebody like who I got. Who I need one.
One over there, Big Booty Brenda.
Yeah, I need one. Where one at?
BBB.
Did
No,
you
that's
ever,
real.
Did you ever get sick of it, or were you always happy with hearing
I
it?
mean, man, I'm happy. I mean, I'm still touring. Right now, we're doing the Legends of Southern Hip Hop tour.
Wow.
And I'm still getting the same reactions, so it's crazy.
Who else
Wow,
on that?
this-
Who else on that tour, by the way?
Yeah.
8 Ball, MJG,
Okay.
Too Short. Who else?
Yo, the fact that Too Short's on the Legends
Bun
of Southern
B,
Hip
the
Hop
list-
is
Yeah, that's-
incredible.
you
That's
know-
a whole separate combo.
You know what's crazy about it?
Scarface, yeah.
Too Short actually got a lot of New Orleans family members and you know all through it. So he kind of like
Well,
part
you know
of us
it's
too.
interesting, right? So Master P used to live in Richmond, California,
Yeah.
in the
Right,
Bay.
right.
Yeah.
So there's some New Orleans Bay
Bay
Area
thing.
Yeah, connection. Yeah, you're right.
As far as
You're right.
families moving out to the shipyards,
Hey
there's a
man,
lot of work out there.
E40 went to school in Louisiana. He went to Grambling. He knows his way around the
Right,
city. So
right.
it's the same thing.
And then you get a call from the City Girls when they want to sample you. How do you feel about the City Girls?
You know, want me to tell you the truth? I don't even know who they are.
Oh my
You could put a picture in front of me, I couldn't tell you who they are.
They're
I'm just,
popping.
I know I hear the music, but I'm saying, I'm just being
Visually.
Yeah.
I just done a song with me, G-Eazy in London and the City Girls on it. You know, so and that's gonna be a big record.
That sounds like a big
But I'm
record.
just I gotta be honest, I never saw him. I really don't know
So
who it is.
you are now entering that phase of your career. I don't know if you ever knew you would get here, where you are now the legend of a certain sound and era that people grew up on,
They call me Uncle, man.
and they want you on, but they want you on the record now though.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? It's starting to get a little frequent right now. Like a lot of the new artists say we grew up on you. We grew up on you. My mama love you, and I just want to do a song with you. So it's more like
I was born.
get me off the bucket
because
list.
Back That Ass
I'm the
Up
bucket
happened.
list
My
artist. You know what I'm
parents met to
saying?
back that ass up.
Yeah.
My mom got pregnant that night.
If it wouldn't be for you, if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be no me. Thank you, man.
Did you see this? Lil Wayne's lyric notebook from 1999 is on sale at $250,000.
Well, he had. I could be honest with you. He had notebooks, a lot of them. He had notebooks, and he started practicing not writing. So that I don't know how good I ain't been in the studio with him in a long time, so I don't know how good he is with it. But I know he started not just straight off the top of the head with everything.
And so when you had him on the Wobble D, when you had him doing that on Back That Azz Up.
Oh, he wanted to be in on it. He had a whole verse for it. We just had to. Manny wanted to be on it, so it was like he got cut down to be on the end like that. But he had a whole verse.
And
for
where
that.
was Wayne's rapping at? Because you said "How" was a poem, so you was already in your
Wayne
bag
was
with
somewhere
rapping.
else, man. Wayne was listening to Outkast and a lot of New York rappers. Like he was listening to Jay-Z like crazy.
Studying.
His skill level was crazy. Then you got to remember Wayne was smart in school. Like he wasn't no dummy. So he was real tricky with his words, real witty. He been like that.
So did you realize when he was just a kid that he was a
I've
prodigy?
been saying. I remember I came to Hot 97 years ago, man. I don't know whose show I was on, and I said, Wayne is the future. Wayne gonna be one of the biggest artists in the industry in the future. And he was like, the little guy, for real, the little dude. I was like, listen, we got him. We toning him down. I'm actually in the studio with him and listening to the verses, saying, you can't say that. You can't say that.
But why was you saying you can't say that? Like, what was?
Because he had some things that happened when he was young. Like, I mean, first of all, he was too young. We didn't want him to be out there, cursing and saying, saying some things he said just wasn't appropriate. You know what I'm saying, for his age. And then his fan base was pretty much 16, 17, 12, 9. Like, he had a lot of young kids and stuff like that following him. So our focus was, being that you had a little situation. I don't know if y'all know about his little situations with he got shot when he was young. Yeah, being that he had that situation, it was better for him not to curse. And that was all Cash Money. That was Baby and Slim idea. I just kept it going when we got in the studio with him. But
what was the energy?
He's been talented.
Yeah.
What was the energy like when you guys toured with Rough Riders? Take me through
Crazy.
that. Like that is such a crazy
forgot
thing.
about that.
It's a crazy thing. That was a massive tour, arena tour.
Man, New York City's roughest with New Orleans roughest.
I mean, can you
the
imagine?
entourage to get every show something happened. Like not the artists, the entourage.
But how could you have that many entourages?
And then man, they already had like 300 or 400 people with them, and then every city they got to, by them having a bike club, you got another 1,000 more showing up. So man, they had Rough Riders rolled deep, homie. I thought we was deep.
Who did you connect with the most from Rough Riders? Was there anyone?
Pretty much everybody, man. Of course, Eve and Baby, they were kind of cool, and I was real close with.
Kind of cool.
I was real close with the Locks. We used to go out, eat, do things, throw parties and stuff together. And DMX, he used to be in his own little world. So every time I saw him, he always was in good spirit.
But would DMX, would he be around a lot, or would he just sort of show up, disappear?
I didn't see him a lot. I saw him like right before the show or after the show in the hotel. That's the only time I saw him.
He's an enigma, DMX. Lots of dogs around? You remember the dogs?
Lots of dogs, man. I mean,
your people remember the
dumping
dogs.
in the lobby and everything. Yeah, lots of dogs, man.
Yo, Juvenile, on this new project, you said it was one producer that you guys work with, you and Birdman.
D-Rock.
D-Rock.
D-Rock, he cut up on him, man. Like, what we did was we kept it kind of old school, a lot of old school samples, like Betty Wright, stuff like that, the OJs. Like, we got a song called Broke. We sampled the OJs.
Look, before we let Juvenile go, I want to go back to 400 Degrees. It is Thursday, so we throw things back on Thursdays. Rosenberg used to hate on the album.
No.
No.
He put it some whole time.
By the way, it gets worse than that. It gets worse than that.
Wait.
I was so backpack, I broke the Make 'Em Say record on the radio, on college
What did you
radio.
do that?
I hated it, and then I had to go rebuy it. I had to go rebuy
You
it.
ain't like make him say,
No.
Yo, now I'm going to give you
I
this.
was an
I'm
idiot.
gonna
I
give
was
you
an
this.
idiot. I was 17.
That was
No,
the
I'm going to
hottest
give you this.
one.
In the 90s, right? And I clearly remember this. And it happens now. And obviously, we didn't have the internet in the 90s. When No Limit and Cash Money came along, right? I remember Cash Money is an army, better yet a Navy. Like, that whole thing was happening. People were trying to say that wasn't hip-hop in New York and Cali.
We
They'd
were
be like,
wrong.
this
We
ain't
were just
hip-hop.
wrong.
And it happens today with new styles
Yeah.
of rap and new styles where they say it's not hip-hop. And I always go, you might not like it. That don't mean it's not hip-hop.
What hip hop came from? It came from everybody trying to tell a story, right?
That's right.
Everybody
Over to a
trying
beat.
to tell a story to a beat. You don't know what their story. You have to grow up in where they at, be in their neighborhood or be part of their family to know what they went through. So with me, I look at it like this: if they're making money and you got fans buying the music, you need to pay attention.
Right, there's some story that's being told whether you like it or not. Now listen,
Definitely.
I was dead wrong. The interesting part about Juvie is that normally it takes me longer. It only lasts, the hate only lasted a few weeks before I was like,
Oh, okay.
I realized it was like the sound
So-
of it. I realized, sometimes you could confuse something. Like, for example,
You didn't get the beat. Just say your white.
He
I
had a
didn't get
lot
the
of.
beat.
He got into a lot of arguments.
Yeah.
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 Wait, you can tell.
I just know it, man.
Well, Ebro, for example,
he not gonna quit.
For example, the cats on Fox News, they talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They think they hate her. They're in love with her. They just don't know it. Sometimes the line is blurry between what you hate and what you love. But by the time the album came out, I was all in, and it's a classic project. 400 Degrees. I mean, from
Thank
that
you,
era,
man.
it was
You
incredible.
know Jeff B.
Yeah, I know Jeff B. Everybody in the city know Jeff
Everybody
B.
know Jeff B. So there's a guy from New Orleans, a white guy. I don't know if Jeff B's Jewish or not.
He is.
He's Jewish
He
too?
is, yeah.
Jeff B in the 90s.
That's Manny Fresh manager.
Manny Fresh manager. Jeff B is college radio, underground
Yeah.
New Orleans rap. He put me on to Juvenile.
That's where I started from. I did my first bounce record with Jeff B at Duck House, and
Duck,
Jeff B and Duck laughed at me.
Really?
They laughed
you was
at me
you was recording in the kitchen.
I had the 2-track in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Had the 2-track
That's
in
where
the
I
record.
stayed, and I had shout out to Jeff B. He caught me.
Oh, you
having
stayed there
sex with a
before?
girl. Yeah, he caught me having sex with a girl on his bed when we was out there for.
Couple blocks away from the project.
Yeah, of course.
I've been there, man. Look,
Well, I
they
didn't
was
know
in
the
there
story.
dying laughing at me, bro. They laughed at me. It was Bounce for the Juvenile. I never forget. I said, man, I'm gonna make it with this. I said, yeah. I had the Eric B. and Rakim record. It was Derek B. And they had Eric B. and Rakim sample or something on it, and I played it, and I did the whole thing, and they laughed, but
First
I
time I,
never
went to
looked
New
back.
Orleans
Happened.
was the first time I ever saw people that you can drive with an alcoholic beverage. They have So in the 90s, I don't know if it still exists.
Yeah,
You could
hell
pull up to
yeah.
a daiquiri shop,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
drive-through, get an alcoholic beverage, and drive away.
Yeah, I've never understood. They used to
I
have.
was like, my mind was blown.
yeah, you can walk out the bars with your drink in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's different.
So that's
Yeah,
But driving is a different
drive
thing.
through.
Well, but the
Walking
presumption.
out is one thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Drive through, I pulled up in my car. I'm the only person in
That's a
the
little
car.
different.
I bought an alcoholic beverage and drove away.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
And guess what?
That doesn't
They'll
make
still
any
give you a
sense.
DWI though.
That's
And
like-
I'm still arrested. I was like, yo, what?
it doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense. Yo, Juvenile, I love you, brother, and I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah,
Man,
we're psyched,
same
man.
here.
Psyched
Man, we
everybody.
got history. I ain't know that, man.
Yeah, man. I was
crazy.
all around. Where's Slab One at?
Yeah, that's my dog. That's my
Yo,
brother,
Slab
man.
One's my guy,
That's
man.
my
So
brother,
look,
man.
the Bay connections with
To
New Orleans goes
crazy.
deeper than I even
It's
read.
crazy.
You too.
It's
And you remember
crazy.
Davey D, right?
Hell yeah.
Davey D put me on the radio.
What's the
time.
first thing I told you when you walked into? I said Davey. I said
You
Davey
thought that
D.
was Davey D,
I thought he was Davey D from the
Nah,
radio
I'll
station
call him
because he
right
said
now.
Davey D coming. I'm like, well, Davey D done left Sacramento.
So the guy that put me on the radio for the
Yeah, of
first
course.
time was originally from Q93 in New Orleans.
Yeah.
He put me on in 1992.
Yeah, that's when I started. Yeah,
he put me
1992.
on.
Yeah.
Davey D.
And
Different from Davey D at KML. Different Davey
two
D.
Davey D. Which
Gotcha.
one is the one that's like very into like the social political
That's
side
Davey
of
D
hip hop?
KML.
That's KML
Yeah,
Davey D.
yeah,
Got it.
Street Soldiers.
And
Davey
then
D.
this
Shout out
guy-
to him too.
And then this guy's just a
And then
label
this
guy.
Davey D's just a label guy, reggae DJ, New York guy. Different thing.
All
A lot
from
of
Davey
Davey
D.
D.
Lot of Davey D.
Lot of Davey D. Juvenile, thank you so much, sir. Hot 97.
Appreciate it.